Hello there, Crackbook. I'm just going to give some chance for a couple of you to just come on a minute and just got a couple of things I want to pull together. Got quite a bit I want to say, so I'm just going to wait for Amber to come on. And as soon as Amber is here, I will start properly. So if Amber can just let me know when you arrive, and I will start. I have quite a bit to say tonight, and there is somebody in Portsmouth right now who better watch her fucking back. The police know it, and social know it. And I've just spoken to the leader of Don't Hate, Fill Your Plate. I have asked Chantel outright whether or not it was her today. I don't know whether she is lying to me. I have not faced her face to face. I've been on live face with her today. Again, if Amber can let me know, because this is all going to have to be logged and vlogged, because I now have the ammunition that I want to go straight over to that court and put an injunction on social, on any intervention into my family. I don't know what's coming into my life yet again now. Am I going to now have another fucking Section 47 done on me? And is this now going to go back to another child protection? And like I told the social worker today, yeah, and I'll fill you in on this in a minute. So let's just say today, I had a lovely day, a beautiful day today, lovely day. And then me and the girls went to get some chips today, and then my phone rings. And who is it? But out of hours social services, Portsmouth City Council. Not their fault. A third party person has made a phone call yet again. Since I have lived here in Portsmouth, that is about the 18th, not including the campaigners that have been doing it to me for the last few years. I have two little boys asleep in their bed who I love very dearly, and I will protect an eye to an eye, fire with fire if I have to, okay? Can see a few more people coming in. Just to let you know, I have had out of hours social services on the phone to me today through a third party person involved with Don't Hate, Fill Your Plate, an unofficial organisation. And somebody has to be held accountable today, and I'm going to hold somebody accountable, and I'm going to make a very big example out of this person. And as you can hear, the weather's getting very mighty. Mother Earth is very pissed right now. And the storm is going to come upon us here in Portsmouth right now. And I'm going to have to send a very stark message on Monday when Napa walk in to Portsmouth that arrive here on Monday. And I'm going to do an interview with him. Further to that, let's hope there's a megaphone. And let's hope it's at a time that social services is in its office at the City Hall. Because I will be sending a very stark message on Monday morning. You come to my door, Hampshire Police, Social Services, Portsmouth Council, you turn up to my door on Monday, you have a statutory meeting and create more paperwork for my family, I'm going to put your asses in prison. Harassment, defamation, discrimination, misfeasance, malfeasance, non-misfeasance, miscarriage of justice, discrimination, persecution, perjury. When you continue, and I hope they recorded their conversation with me today, and I'm sure the entire Somerstown heard me put my foot down on Portsmouth Social Services today. Sally, her name was. Sally, out of hours. Let's hope, yes, that I didn't scare you too much, girl, that you decided to go and make a signposting today. Let's hope my message today was loud and clear. Come to my boys. Step to me and my family. I am armed with so much knowledge now. What degree would you like me to have not read? I have a psychology degree. I have pretty much studied the entire law degree. I have pretty much studied most of the social services degree. I have pretty much studied most of the care service degree and politics and religion. So what do you want to bring with me now? The only thing that I haven't mastered is my fucking temper. And the fact that I am very close to becoming a vigilante. And a lot of the people that I'm dealing with right now run with what was known as the craze. Obviously a very coked up world. And, you know, I do believe that one of the snooker players that I'm dealing with, coach, was arrested for trafficking. This was actually bringing immigrants into the country. I do believe that I'm dealing with quite a lot of very powerful, influential people right now. The company that has folded, that I now have the time of this person, is actually Boris Johnson's filmmaker. I think it was called Lone Star. Yeah, Pete Parsons. Yeah, Pete Parsons does all of Boris Johnson's films, or did. He's 74 now. So up until this point, he was Boris Johnson's filmmakers. I'm a networker, mate. I have networked this world since 2007. 2007 was the year. No, 2004. Sorry, 2004 was the year that I signed on to do my degree in psychology. I did not do my degree in psychology without an intention at the end of it. There was an intention the whole time with everything that I do, everything that I map out, everything that I work on, every interaction that I have. I'm a purpose-driven living purpose, and I have a purpose here on earth, as do every single one of you. You all have a reason for being here on planet Earth. You all have a reason to be here in service. You all have a mighty, 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 mighty role to play within your own life. Now, we live in a country that has a structure. And the reason that we have this structure is because when somebody like me decides to set up a business, Challenge Britain is a business, Unity in the Community is a business, Step Up Britain is a business. It's all a business. It has to be a business. And the reason it has to be a business is because I have to be accountable. I am accountable for every person in my network. I'm accountable for every single person that I interact with, because I decided and took up my cross to bear and took up the vision in my baptism to fulfill my destiny, my path, my journey, my story, my mess to a message, my trials and tribulations, my tests. Yeah, we all have them. We all have our own cross to bear. Now, I have been building trust. Now, trust is something that's so important, and it's so fragile. Very, 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 very fragile. Once broken, can never, ever, ever be repaired. Ever. It's like taking this and dropping it, and it smashes, and then gluing it back to pieces. In fact, I have some glue here. Yes, I have some glue here. Now, if my children were not in bed, I would visually do this for you, and I would visually glue this back together for you, and you will see that there would be fragmented pieces. There will be bits that don't slightly line up anymore. There will be, it would not look like this dirty Misty had hot chocolate in it glass, and I don't have a dishwasher, and it would have shattered pieces, and it would have cracks and missing pieces. Because when you break trust, it's as easy, and this is how cool this is, look, watch. Now, that's what trust should be. That's what loyalty is. It is a glass that can't be fragmented and broken. Now, people will not understand, because I haven't talked about it. I will be talking openly about it in my book. And the reason that I don't talk about it on Crackbook is because, and I'm very aware of what I put out on Crackbook. I ain't fucking stupid. My mother was a very clever woman. So was my father. As much as our relationship is fragmented thanks to the services and many other people that want to contaminate it, because we're a powerful family, of course we are. Why wouldn't we be? Yeah. So at the end of the day, you know, I have gone through what I have gone through because of what happened to me. Yeah. My children were taken within 3 minutes, literally removed from me. And I have had to deal with this every day since. Now, if I was a mother whose children had died, yeah, nobody would have a problem with me laying in my bed for nearly 3 months, probably even turning to alcohol, probably even turning to drugs in order to suppress the emotion. And people would help me. And then I would probably go to bereavement counselling. I may have to go into, you know, a mental health unit for a bit while I'm being stabilised, dealing with my trauma. That would be understandable, wouldn't it? If my children had been taken from their beds like they were with the police, if they'd been taken from their beds by a complete and utter stranger who didn't have a digit and called agent of the state, if some random stranger had done this, then like my friend, Karen, who at the same time that I was in court was all over the media because we couldn't find Daniel. Yeah, well, Daniel would have been missing for days, you know, while I was literally facing what Daniel had been my babysitter for Liam and Daniel throughout the years. He started babysitting for me when he was about 14. And literally my whole community was in fucking shock that I'd had my kids taken. Even Graham tonight, and Graham's managed to calm me down and be sitting here with me tonight. And he says, there's one thing about you, you're the most amazing mother. And I think everybody knows that about you, Kelly. And even my mum went on moral dilemmas. And when they asked about me, she said, Kelly's an amazing mum. She said, Kelly's always been an amazing mum. That's never been a problem. She's never been trying to do anything but be a mum. Yeah. So nobody's ever questioned, even courts to take my children, even attested to how much love and bond that I have with my children. Okay. I made my children a promise. I can't always rely on the fathers, and I can't be there or take responsibility for the fathers. But I made my children a vow and a promise that never will I leave them, never will I forsake them, and never would I have abandoned them, ever. Now, since this has happened to me and my children have been forced adopted, obviously I have had 2 other children with Dean. We have a very, very beautiful, lovely relationship. But unfortunately, I've continued with my campaign for Aaron and Faith against many other people's opinions. My son understands, my 2 older boys understand, they get it, and they know that if mum stops fighting for Aaron and Faith, then, you know, what would she abandon us? So I'm not going to stop for Aaron and Faith. I'm not going to stop for Aaron and Faith until I'm sitting down having a meal with my children and we're laughing and joking about the times that we've been apart. I'm not going to stop. As I told them when they took me from my committal to prison at the Royal Courts of Justice, do it. Do it. Put me in prison. For what? Speaking out about the unlawful and unnecessary removal of my children. And your laws basically say that unless a solicitor has legal aid of my case, I'm not allowed to discuss anything with anybody about my case. So I can't talk about my own personal circumstances. The same as somebody who's been through rape. The person who raped them is actually protected by law. That means that the rape victim can't even actually go out and say this person raped me because it's alleged until found guilty. I've never been found guilty of any form of crime that makes me a significant risk to my children. Never been taken to the criminal courts, never been prosecuted for child abuse. I've never actually had any allegations of child abuse. They have just battered me about whether Ehlers-Danlos syndrome is the easiest condition to have. Now, for those of you who have been watching my feeds, you all know I'm in a 1-bedroom flat. Sorry to the woman who goes, oh, it's just all about you being in a 1-bedroom flat right now. Go fuck yourself, right? I'm in a 1-bedroom flat. I came here from Downing Street. In fact, actually, I came here from barricading the governor of Bristol prison in and having the police around me because they refused to give me Dean's prison number, because they took him off the streets from me, and because we had no fixed abode, held him on remand. And I told them straight, you get him out or that's it. And as people know, yeah, I actually went into the prison and slept the night in the governor's parking space and woke up to the police knocking on them and the governors and all the people around the court. And I was sitting in the car with the window slightly down saying, I would like Dean Stockley's, he's now Dean Samuel, but Dean Stockley's prison number. And they're telling me to move on the horn. Would you like a riot in your prison? I would like Dean Samuel's, sorry, I don't want to call him Stockley. He's Dean Samuel. I would like Dean's number. And if you don't give me Dean's number, right, would you now like to watch the YouTube video of what we did outside Strangeway Prison when Stephen fell asleep on the bridge and was arrested? Yeah, we caused a riot. So again, I tell them, would you like a riot in your prison? I suggest you give me his number. I had nothing to lose. I was carrying Dean's child. Dean had been held on remand. I was being sick as a dog, not knowing who to go to, where to trust, who to tell. That literally, I'd gone to Bristol, we'd gone to the land, they'd shut down all of the squats, they'd shut everything down, and then all of a sudden, Spiral Tribe had owned that 14 years, and then all of a sudden, sorry, 17 years, and all of a sudden, out 17 years, it's been shut down. Now, I know I'm playing with fire. I know I am the cat amongst the pigeons. I know I have put my head above the parapet. I know that I have started something that in order to finish it, it's going to mean that a lot of people are going to be sitting their asses in prison, probably taking their own lives, probably aging considerably, or maybe just disappearing and realizing that they can't manipulate the people anymore. They can't use the media to brainwash you all anymore. Yeah, come on, bring it on, Mother Earth. She's mad. She's mad. She's mad. She's mad. And you're probably all sitting there thinking, Kelly's mad. Yeah, I am mad. I'm making a difference. And you don't like it. These people don't like it. Graham, do you know what his favourite thing of the day is? How many seconds he can take when he's dealing with the Roberts Centre to drop my name in it. Because he knows the moment I mention he mentions my name, they drop their heads. And they know they can't fuck up with Graham right now. They know I'm sitting over it. They know I will help him write the letters. They know that they can't remove that man right now. They know that they can't evict him. And they know that he has a care of duty and they have to help him. And as with my baby mama down the road, I don't like to call her a baby mum, but my mum with the baby down the road, my 17-year-old. She's mine. I took on the responsibility. It's mine. Responsibility has to land somewhere. Somebody has to be accountable when they put consequences in somebody else's lives. Now, what I've had enough of, I've been investigating social services since I was 11 years old, 8 years old, 7 years old. First encounter that I actually had with social services when I was 7, they made a false allegation against my father and they brought me into my Mr. Bamford's office to talk to me, police and social services. My first ever actual proper encounter, other than their mucky hands on me when I was all the way through my child and doing all these reports on me since I was 3. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Kelly. My surnames have been many, 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 many different surnames throughout my life. I have been known as Kelly Hill, Kelly Avis Forrester, Kelly Wilkinson, Kelly Cottam. I've even been known as Jamie Lee when I was living in Germany under a different name. So at the end of the day, what is important is that there are many, many people here in Great Britain, and not just in Great Britain, but within the Commonwealth. Every structure that is governed by our Queen, that has this hierarchy, the Queen is responsible for everything. She's responsible for everything. She is the people's queen. She is the person who is responsible for everything that goes on in our lives. She is the leader of our nations, and she is appointed a council, government, people, members. Remember, these people pay £500 to be a member of Parliament, yeah? These choose to be the voice of the people. They pay £500, they go around and they knock on all your doors and they ask you to vote for them to go into Parliament to represent you, the people. We have this structure. The structure exists, and the Queen's done very well, by the way. If you actually look, black teeth, all of this stuff, where we've come from, you know, even Graham has said the doctors were open today. Funny enough, for jabs. Graham is umming and ahhing on whether Graham and Jenny should have flu jabs. Please, somebody send me all the information on why Jenny and Graham shouldn't have the flu jab. That would be amazing, and I will give it to their officials. And he will ask the doctor to sign the letter to make sure that if he has these flu jabs, that everything's okay. We're under economy 7 heating here. We've all ended up coming down with colds. And of course, Graham is detoxing from alcohol. Not one of us is perfect. We will all face trials and tribulations. We will all go through adversity. We will all have good times and we will all have bad times. We will all feel amazing and we will all feel shit. Sometimes we will be that shit that we feel fucking depressed, suppressed, and sometimes we might feel so fucking euphoric that we're actually excited about life. And those feelings, emotions, we are never taught how to handle them. We are never actually taught anything other than, let's have a look at what I've got on me, little things. Kelly Marshall has joined us and Tanya is here. So let's just have a look. If I wanted to go on my little crack book thing here, I don't want to disconnect you. What will I have? I will have like, love, hate, anger. Hey, but did you know that we have other words? Sorry to be very pedantic and very, what's the word at the moment? I'm being a bit narcissistic. Because these people, a lot of narcissistic abuse can start to create narcissism within a person. Lucky I'm aware of this. Lucky I'm aware that I'm being very patronizing cunt right now. I am very aware that I'm very angry right now. I am very aware that I feel very disappointed right now. Don't hate. Don't hate. Fill your plate. Chantel, you are directly responsible for the member of your team that phoned social services today on me and my family and made yet again a further false accusation that has potentially kicked me into a further 6 months with social services right now. Bring it on. And I will walk out of it with both of my children, hand in hand, skipping to the fucking ferry in France. Ain't touching my kids, ain't removing my kids, won't even lay a fucking hands on my kids. And I promise you that. Because they know, if they do, you better fucking section me and stick an injection in my ass and I will meditate myself through it. And I actually know how to detox your fucking poison out of me. Or you better stick me in prison for the rest of your life. And you better hang me in that prison or do something that kills me. Because over my dead body, do you ever step to me over my children? Do you understand? Over my dead body. And I hope to God I don't ever have to be pushed into a situation that I have to become a gangster bitch wife just to keep me and my children protected. I could be married to one of the biggest gangsters tomorrow morning if I fucking wanted to and keep me fucking protected for the rest of his life. Dean is actually somebody who, by the way, his first child, hence why Dean doesn't see his first child, because Dean didn't go as far as the father was like to have done. 2 seconds, that's my son, more important than anybody. I will be back. This stuff, by the way, shit. Evening, sir. So anyway, as I was saying, over my dead body, will Hampshire and Portsmouth Council step to my children. I'm not fearful of Monday. In fact, I am looking forward to Monday because one of the fathers has walked all the way for Exeter and he will arrive in Portsmouth on Monday. And just so happens the day that Portsmouth Social Services will be sitting down after their out of hours phone call tonight and listening to the voice recording of everything that I said to Sally on the phone today. Hello, Sally from Portsmouth Social Services. Let's hope you don't screw up, hey? Don't want any incompetency right now, do we? Luckily, I have been in the house now. I have made sure I come back because I had the phone call while I was literally walking to the chip shop. My first concern was that the police may arrive and I wanted to be barricaded in my house with my children in the house prior to any police knocking on my door. I did not want to be out on the streets or entering into my building at any point while they arrived, particularly after my occurrence. I think it was August 15th or something like that. I keep saying last year, but it was actually the year before that, when they unlawfully and unnecessarily detained me, threw me in fucking St James's and took my son off me. So I decided to come home quite quickly. I don't like the fact that I don't have any cameras. I did have someone promise me they'd do cameras. Most people's promises are broken promises. I have so got used to it in this network. I've had people say, oh, I've got money coming in, I'll support the cause. Oh, I've got this, I'll send it to you. I'll do this, I'll do this. And do you know what? It never fucking happens. And then there are some people who do. The majority, it doesn't. Or they then use it as a blackmail tool to cause you absolute aggro. And no, Lisa, you ain't getting any fucking money off me right now. I really don't give a fucking flying fuck if you want to take me to court. Take me to court. It's going to cost you 70 quid to take me to court. And actually, the more angles that I have in court right now, the more practice that I get for the big day when I go back to the Supreme Courts. And it's going to be funny. And I'm going to enjoy every single inch and mile of this journey from this day forward, because these people have had me in a mess in my head for the last few years while I have had these two boys. When Elijah was in my tummy, I kept telling him, while he's in my tummy, mate, he's safe. Do I run? Do I not run? Do I stay? Do I go? Do I go do what they want? I'm tending this meeting, baby in my tummy. You know, Dean laying with his arm across, him not knowing what the fuck's going on. Never been in this situation with social before, ever, other than him being a taken child himself. Never wanted anything to do with the system. Been out on the underground, on off the grid, pretty much majority of his life. He's still off the grid now, hence why we don't have this joint life. Dean's got to do what Dean's got to do right now, and I support what Dean has to do, and I always will support what Dean and I, need to do. It's just that there's cunts out there that like to send him messages and me messages and cause a lot of shit between me and Dean. Have done since the day we got together, with David Jenkins telling him that I'd be a great one-night stand shag and painting a picture of me of something very different that nearly got Dean to walk away from me. So, yeah, anyway. So today, it has taken me a long time. Anyone who's been following me knows that I don't really deal with many of the adults around here. I can't really build a network with many of the adults here. Majority are alcoholics, majority take coke, the majority are weed smokers, the majority have been through or under social. So there isn't really anybody in this network around here that I can actually build a relationship with. It's a challenge. So now I'm in a situation of just helping people instead. And this matter with Graham is coming through in leaps and bounds and in bigger situations that I could have ever imagined. Like, seriously, I mean, like the conversation that we've had, and he said to me, don't worry, Kelly, I promise you, I might be a drunk, but, I promise you this has come together. He's been bringing me paperwork down. We've been going through his videos. We've been talking about, all these people in the BBC. We've been really unlocking the BBC tonight. Graham's got a lot to say about the BBC, because Graham has been a director of snooker for the BBC for 30 or 40 years until sort of he became an alcoholic along with everybody else on them. They all did. In fact, in the videos that I'm playing, they're down in coke, on the way into the snooker hall. Literally, as he's, Alex Higgins and all the other ones. The only one I will say 100%, Steve Davis, is not a coke, and in fact, he was very anti this entire world. But this network, they were on the border of seeing everything that was going on, and they're about to release all of this information with me when we get this equipment to do this documentary. And everything that I've been doing is recorded. Everything that I do is logged. Amber should have been at the end of each as they're downloading. She's meant to be having them all scribed, but Amber's got a box computer just like me. We are crap on technology right now. But what annoys me is, since being here in Portsmouth, I've been in like this void. My bang bang man, who used to sit outside, was my only companion for me and Dean when we used to walk the mile to go to social services with the baby in my tummy. And he used to calm us down out front, and he used to say to me, remember what we used to do in World War II, and we used to go bang, bang, bang. And I used to be able to get that anger out, because I used to tell social. Yeah, don't forget, I've gone from being a suburban living middle class mum to getting involved in a guy who methadone and dabbling with heroin and crack and stuff, to being in DV, to completely shattering my life, to then rebuilding my life and starting again and starting to get some friends around Aaron and Faith and Liam and Daniel healing from what we've been through, to literally then getting to a point where I'm really doing well in my life, that I can move forward and start coaching people and helping people. And then obviously my program got put into my local paper, which exploded and went national and all over the things, and One Show and Daybreak and all that sort of stuff. And, you know, it was a media frenzy for a few days, which got stopped by my mum. You know, my mum caused me a lot of stress on the streets. My mum caused for my shopkeepers to question me, my local community to start coming up with things that weren't actually true, because my mum was creating this different picture of this Kelly Cotton that was launching Challenge Britain. She even actually wrote under one of the blogs that I had breast implants done on the NHS and I know how to screw the system. Yes, I had breast implants done when I was 19, you know. I breastfed. I didn't know that you lose your breasts after breastfeeding. You know, I faced my shame, everybody assuming at the hospital that I have breast cancer and having to say no, you know, and seeing the looks on their face on why I was this young kid. You know, I get all that. No, I wasn't a page-free girl, but, you know, she completely changed that angle. And it's like what all the people do here that troll me, yeah? When you defamate me, which is what you're all here to go mad over social services for in the first place. So you're fighting defamation, yet you'll do it. You're fighting discrimination, yet you will do it. You're fighting gossip, yet you'll do it. But that's what social services are doing to you. And you're doing it as well. So the thing that I'm really looking forward to now is the phone call from social services today, from Portsmouth Social Services, from Sally, who made the phone call. This is my log. Yeah, I'll present it all into court. I don't mind. I'm quite happy. The only thing I've got to work on is my stance. Very powerful. Very powerful. It's not very nice to meet this one. Yeah. This person. Yeah. And you know what's not even nice either? It's to meet this person. And that's the way you're pushing me right now. You're pushing me into Black Bloc. You're pushing me into becoming a vigilante. You're pushing me into having to stand up for my family. You're pushing me into my masculine energy. I'm very feminine. I'm a very woman. Very. I like my dresses. I like my sandals. I like my shoes. I'm having to become ready for anything. I'm having to put myself in a situation where if I have to run, I have to run. Why do you think I'm flipping cars? I'm flipping cars to make sure I have an exit. Why do you think I'm making sure I have all my ID? Why do you think I'm making sure that I have money coming in from somewhere at some point just in case the shit hits the fan? Why do you think that I'm starting to network with people that are probably not worth knowing in terms of, hey, let's go and take the kids to the park? But if the shit hits the fan and the price is right, they're worth knowing. And I'm quite happy about this. I'm quite happy to start putting people around me because a lot of people love me. A lot of people really, really care about me. A lot of people adore me. A lot of people really believe in who I am, what I'm about, what I stand for, and they've seen what I've been through. Now today, my community are going to find out on Monday morning what has happened. So, don't hate, fill your plate. We start from this point forward. I've spoken to Chantel on the phone today. She has advised me that it was not her who runs the organisation, unofficial organisation. Now, when it comes to business, if one of your members of staff fucks up, it is the boss who is accountable. So as far as I am concerned, Chantel, you are the boss of Don't Hate, Fill Your Plate. Today, the girls went to the park, and on their way home, as you all know, the girls have given me some space to get the tidying up done today. I told the girl all the markers and all of the points, where they were walking, where they couldn't walk, where they could go, what they could do. I have spent 18 months and longer with these particular two girls who have come out for walks with me. As you know, they were at Victorious with me. So they've been with my kids in the middle of a festival. They pretty much sleep here every weekend. Fridays and Saturdays, they either go to their grandfather's and one of them goes to their dad's. But both of their mums work. So they stay here. They know my boys. The park is outside. So I was very grateful today when the kids were out a little bit longer than originally planned. Because I was sort of expecting them to get around the corner, Elijah kick off and then come back. On the phone, checking it on each interval, how things are going, boom, 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 nice little texts, happy, da, 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 da. So obviously now they've left the park, they're getting a little bit upset, aren't they? And they're wanting to go back to the park. So at this particular point, because they weren't out that long, they had obviously their lunch because they went out at 12:30. So originally we were hoping they were just going to fall asleep and come back. So they went out, they had their lunch, they had their lunch packs with them, so they had a banana, they had for the record, for social services. So they both had one of these made up for them. So they both had one of these all made up with all their bits in it. Banana, their milk and their juice. And so the girls finally made it to the park, and the boys decided that, you know, it was great. So I said, right, cool, it's fine. So obviously on their way back, they didn't have the milk in the bottle and stuff like that. So they bumped into Chantal. And I was very, very, very grateful. I felt, hang on, I've got a community now. Because she gave them some milk for the kids and some bits for coming back, and just sort of said, no, don't go back to the park. You know, get him home, he's tired, he wants his mum, blah, 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 blah. I've spoken to her. I've said, were there any concerns while the girls were walking past with the boys? She said, no, there weren't any concerns. Elijah was tired and he was asking to go home for mum. Of course, as children do. I said, did you actually see anything that you felt that there was a concern with my children? In fact, let me show you. This is the bundle of clothes that I have taken off my children today. These are Aaron's jeans, Elijah's jeans. Elijah's jeans even have the tags on with my telephone numbers on. Elijah's jumper. Elijah's body jacket, because it's pretty windy around here. Shiloh's jeans. Lovely jeans, by the way. Jasper Conrad. Shiloh's little lovely Jasper Conrad top. Shiloh's lovely little warm jacket. And Shiloh's body warmer. Shiloh had his Timberland boots on. Elijah had his Nike trainers on. In a secure double buggy. Now, they're allowed to run around in particular places. The girls have been on many walks with me. The reason that we choose particular parks is because I know particular people at certain places. I've been trying my damned hardest here in Portsmouth to allow myself to integrate in the community. Because if I don't, that makes me a sociopath. Because any person who doesn't want to intermingle in society is a sociopath. Now, at the end of the day, the first time in Portsmouth, I decided to trust the police. What happened? So today was the first time that I allowed the girls to venture further around the block, because usually I only allow them to be down here in the garden or at the front, so I can see them at all points. Like I said, it's taken 18 months and I've had to wait for the girls to go to high school because I wouldn't allow it at a certain point. Still uncomfortable with today as it was, but because of the phone calls and everything going so well, we allowed it to progress, and it gave me a chance to literally go through things. So I've got two backpacks there that are getting packed with all the winter stuff. So I've got some nice jackets, some nice hoodies, some nice different layers. And I'm building up on this because this is for Portsmouth in the community, because we're packing up bags for everybody for winter preparation. And I've got all the shoes over there that are going up to get sorted. I'm stucking because it's like, do I sell this stuff or do I gift this stuff? And it's coming into winter. I've got a early pack, early baby pack there. And I've obviously been going through my stuff and sorting out some paperwork. Social services, when they rang, said, we've had a phone call today to say that the girls had to run out of the house because you were that stressed and kicking off that they took the kids. Really? Really? Took the kids when mummy's packed up all of the lunch and all of the things and on the phone calls all of the time. In fact, where's my phone? Just for the record and everything. My phone's a pain in the ass because it's run out of memory. Just right. Today, Morgan, 2 again. Jackie, their mum. Jackie, their mum. Hang on. Go on, Morgan's. Oh shit! I'm gonna ring her. On the information. Don't know if you can see this. It says all the outgoing calls and ingoing calls to Morgan. Just for the record, I do have the evidence. Yeah. Now, the other problem that I've got is obviously when anybody is around my children, they have to be trained on many different levels with my children. One of my concerns with anybody, even Amber will know, even when Amber came over to the UK to meet Elijah, and Amber wanted to give me and Dean a break, even Amber understood the anxiety and stress, that the worry that, you know, Elijah was very young at the particular time. She could have dropped him, she could have picked him up, she could have done something. Do you know what I mean? And not even intentionally. You know, you could put him in a swing, he might catch his finger. Around here, it's a death trap with the roads. You've got to be on it. Yeah, hence why my kids were strapped in their buggy and weren't allowed in their buggy out other than certain points. And they listen to other people. They only ever walk with me. And even I make them go into buggies at certain points because it's too stressful sometimes. What annoys me is Morgan. Dad hung himself recently, was in prison, hung himself in prison. I know these girls inside out. I know how they think. I know how they argue in between each other. I'm there for every battle in between them. I know what they deal with at school, what emotional stuff that they're going through. I know which guys that they think's cute and which ones they don't. I would never, ever, 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 ever leave my children in a situation that puts them at risk. And I'm also not stupid, because as far as I was concerned, on the route with these girls, because I've already talked to all my community as well. My son works in a certain place, different people, different points, different spaces, Saturday. I know people. So when Chantal happens to be there with my kids, I'm feeling very grateful, very humble that this community is actually coming together. Now, Chantal tells me it was not her, but however, there was about 20 concerned people. I said, so what was your concerns? So, Elijah was tired, he wanted to go home, and the girls didn't know whether to go back to the park. I said, so if you had any actual concerns, you can get hold of me, yeah? Yes, fantastic. So wouldn't actually it be better to go, hey, Kelly, the girls are down here, I'm going to keep them down, you're going to run down and catch up with us? Because I'd actually said to the girls that I'm going to try and get down for Don't Hate Feel You Played, because obviously I had some space and time to get stuff done today, and I managed to get it done at a speed that can take me 2-3 weeks with the kids around me. To give me that 2-hour space was enough for me to achieve so much that can take me 8-9 weeks of retrying with the boys. You know, for me to wash the car, even the girls, you know, washed all the pram out for me today. So for me to strip the pram, sort the pram, make sure the house is straight, strip the car seats, make sure the car is hoovered, can be a full-time job in this situation, because I'm not in a home. I don't have my hoover outside to hoover me things, take the car seats out, put them back in, you know, me buggy in a nice place. It's fucking manic and chaotic living this way. So I was humbly and grateful that actually, even when the girls come back, they said, wow, you know, how many people know you? You know, how many people know Elijah? So they don't really know Shiloh so much, but they all know Elijah, don't they? It's like, you know, we've got a good community here now. I think, I hope. I would have hoped, you know, okay, the majority of them are with food places and stuff, because I'm not ready to go really into normal middle-class suburban mums right now. I've got perfect lives, because they just wouldn't understand my life. I just want to make sure I heat my coffee up a minute. Microwaves, not good. Radiation, bad. Stand in front of a microwave, they can become sterilised. Oh shit, my food's still in there. Look at my horrible foods at the moment that I'm eating. Shit. So anyway, Chantel has been basically told, don't forget I'll do a live for about an hour. Chantel's basically been told, and she has already done it, and she says, but it's stressing everybody out. I said, I don't care. You just got me locked into social for potentially 6 months. So this matter gets sorted. Now, I have the balls to go to Chantel directly. Now, obviously, social didn't tell me exactly who made the thing, but it is just that significance that the girls made such an impact on this particular one woman, and how she had come around and, you know, yeah, I know the mum and all this sort of stuff and blah, 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 blah. Because this is from my fireside community, my fire jam. Yeah, and I like my fire jam. And I'd like to think that I'd continue with my fire jam. But now, I just think there's snakes in the grass everywhere I go. So this little snaky cunt, yeah, who decided to ring social services today and defamate and discriminate my parenting, who actually, if you'd had any cause for concern, you could have come and knocked on my door. What you could have done was maybe walked her back with the girls. If you were that concerned, wouldn't it have been better to have actually have just said to the girls, you know, tell you what, girls, stay down here with us, let the good, you know, we'll ring Kelly and Kelly will come down. If you were that concerned, no. Ringing social services says to me, you have no concern about me and my family. Ringing social services on me says that you are a vindictive, nasty fucking cunt. Now, to all you unofficial organisations out there, the reason that we run these unofficial organisations is so people can get help without having to deal with the Babylon system of social services and police and all of that. So people can come down to our little zones, our street kitchens and all these things that we do out on the streets, which I've only been involved since 2010 with. Dean's been breaking squats for 30, 40 years. 20 years, 26 years maybe. You know, like I said, Dean was the last DJ at Cardboard City. Lived at Cardboard City, raised at Cardboard City. You know, so homeless people live on the streets. Some people are running away from other counties, from bail. We have people who have been done for paedophilia out on the streets. We have people who have murdered people out on the streets. Not many come out of prison, but some people do. We've had people, petty thefts, drugs, alcohols, ex-prisoners, whatever. Vulnerable people. Now, Don't Hate Till You Play is a bit of a jam for everybody. Yeah, it's just come and enjoy and have some food. But the predominantly main is it helps, you know, those living on the streets, crack, smack, heroin, everything like that. Now, my children will always, always be raised in multiple worlds. The reason being is my children will never be the person that when someone says, you know, I'm in foster care, they'll be the ones that go, cool, mate, have you ever been fishing? Do you fancy going and doing it? Or, oh, well, if you have an opportunity to do this, let's go and do it. They won't be the person who says, oh, I'm sorry, mate, but you know, you scum of the fur. You're a street rat. You're a foster care vermin. Do you know what I mean? You're a parasite. They will never be like that. My children, in fact, I have a conversation with other Graham, because other Graham won't let Graham get in his car. Because Graham stinks. He's been in the same clothes for probably about a year, you know, and it's part and parcel of his journey. Me, you know, I give Graham a hug every day and every night. He's pissed all over my leg outside, you know, so it's just the way that it is. People go through what they're going through. But these organisations are not meant to be signposting organisations. If you have massive cause for concern, then obviously, but what you should do now is now actually say, we are a government organisation, and if in the event of this, this and this, then we will have to refer to police, social services, blah, blah, blah. So then you become a government organisation, you become part of the problem. Now, obviously, if somebody's up at don't hate, fill your plate, and they're kicking off, like somebody is going to be turning up on Saturday, yeah, and I will be there on Saturday, and I will be facing every single person, and they will all look me in the eyes until somebody bows their head. And I will be there on Monday to greet him, Al Walker, and I will be interviewing him, and I will maybe be taking this further. So please, everybody from Portsmouth who has been affected by the family courts, I don't know what time it is, so please watch this space. Please do meet me on Monday. Got a couple of other things I need to be doing. I don't have a megaphone. Hopefully I will have by that time. I need a couple of other things. I need to keep my kids in close proximity, need a couple of people. I basically need to pull in as many people around. But how do I know who's a snake in the grass now? Because the first person I was going to call was Chantal. I was going to say, Chantal, I need the help rallying up the troops for the press coming in. I need a good amount of people to be outside for when he walks in from can't think where he's coming from now. But it's a long walk here to Portsmouth. You know, we're going to meet over there at family courts and go through the town hall where social services are. Yeah. I'm not in control of it. It's not my thing. I'm just here to bridge the gap for somebody else doing something. Perfect timing, don't you say? The Lord is in it all, mate. The Lord is in it all. Yeah, by the power and grace, the Lord has it. He has our back. He's in it, through it. He's had enough. He has had enough. And if we don't get our shit together, Mother Earth, fuck your climate change. I've told climate change this people as well. Every time I speak at any XR stuff, I always tell them the same. Yeah, stand my ground on this. We, the human beings, could not interject into this planet. It's as harsh as this. Yeah, we can't damage this planet. And you know why we can't damage this planet? Is because Mother Earth will oops upside us ahead, and just like the days of Noah, the rain will fucking come, or something, or ice age will come, and the human population will be wiped out. And he will already know which ones are staying to rebuild the empire again, if that's what you want to call it. Community, colonization, what do you want to call it? I call it cohabitating between different people. We used to say that don't talk to strangers. Thank God for Crackbook, hey, that we now all have Facebook friends. So this is how much the person knew me. In order to make a social services report, in order for that social worker to ring me on my mobile, in order to access my telephone number, they have to know my name. So the person at Hate Don't Fill Your Plate, who knows my name, who must actually know my first and second name, and also would have to know my children's name in order to ring the out of hours people. Now, if you were bringing the out of hours, you had every intentions of making sure that Elijah and Shiloh were removed from the girls without my presence there. You actually set my children up to be removed today. Somebody who knew my children's name, somebody who knows both mine and my first name, somebody who really obviously doesn't clearly know me or like me, who knows my name, and obviously my telephone number is on the record, which funny enough isn't, because this telephone has actually been changed over. So yet again, they have my telephone number. And I haven't had social services in for a while, so there's no reason for them to have updated this. Look at that really gorgeous man on there, really lovely. That's Dean. What was I going to say? Yeah. So, don't hate, fill your plate. You just caused a lot of animosity and hate from me. Because now I can't trust any of you. I can't even trust that Chantal is telling me the truth. Now, if Chantal is a good person, she will help clear up this mess that they've created. If she's not a good person, she won't. Chantel knows what it's like. Chantel has been stopped homeschooling by social and has to send her kids to school and immunised and all that stuff. I haven't. Hence why there's a lot of jealousy with me. I stand my ground with social, with people, things that other people haven't achieved. Elijah and Shiloh are not immunised, whatever you think about that, but they're not. As social told me, it's my decision. We gave them enough evidence. We gave them all the stuff. We asked them to sign the letters that it wouldn't cause this, this, and this. They couldn't, so we came to a negotiation. It was agreed. They had no issue with it. Now, it's taken me a long time to build up my boys even being out my eyesight. Even when I'm out and about, my kids don't leave my eyesight. The trauma that has been caused to me by social services and many other people who have gone on to have other children, or or have got their children back, but living under the trauma of what about this, what about that. Now, the girls have built a relationship with me because I struggle going down to the tumble dryer downstairs. So the girls have come over and, given me a hand. I won't even go in the lift because I worry, what if it's the one time the lift fucking stops and, I end up, stuck in the bloody lift while the girls are in the flat. That's how paranoid I am, yeah? Even as the girls went out today, they know my fears about police are being around the kids, avoiding all of that stuff. Anyone touches, hey, is that the stair? Just 2 seconds. Amber's just posted. We open it in a new tab. Oh, listen to this a minute. Yeah, Portsmouth Council, bring it on, you fuckers. Come near my kids, mate. The only thing is, though, is I very much doubt there'd be anybody who'd do this for me. This is outside the prison. Police stood behind me on the video. And she's doing it in heels. Getting a bit cocky, a bit arrogant at the moment. I'm a bit pissed off, can you tell? This is from the 3rd of November 2014. It's Chris. Hey, Chris. In them fucking hills to get to the prison as well. I won't play it all, so you can watch it yourself. Amber's just posted it. But all of a sudden the van comes out and they're all going bang, bang, bang on the side of the van. And then the governor comes out and then Chris goes all the way around the prison doing it on the mic and go, whoa, whoa, whoa. Obviously, the difficulty is when even taking a protest like that, if a riot goes off in a prison, just to end off on this live, and for those who are just joining me, sorry guys, you're going to have to catch up in a minute. It's quite a bit of a one because I've had yet another out-of-hours phone call from social services. I'm in war stance now. It's gone too far with me now. It's gone too far. And I'm quite happy for Elijah and Shiloh to enter into this world with me. I'm quite happy to raise Elijah and Shiloh to have truth, integrity, honor, respect, grace, stability, and to make sure they can stand their ground in any situation. And I will train them to defend themselves too. Shiloh and Elijah are already and we get the pads out and they already kick. Sharon's just joined us. I'm actually about to wrap up, so it is quite an important live. It's quite a harsh message. I've had another referral from social services from a third-party person. I'm really pissed off with the organisations that are unofficial, that I can't hold somebody accountable right now. I can't smash someone's face in and turn her black and blue because I would live with a conscience. But unfortunately, I actually feel like I could do that right now. And if I'd had a babysitter after this had happened, but the girls had gone to their dads and to the nans today, I would have quite easily have gone down. And I'm glad I decided to speak to Chantel today because I would have taken this out on Chantel. At the end of the day, she leads Don't Hate Fill Your Plate. So she is responsible for every volunteer that attends there. Even street nights, all of these kitchens, whoever chose the position of coordinator or leadership within those roles, you are 100% responsible. Now, at the end of the day, even the homeless kitchens, all of these things, you know, I think one way you could get some support is set up a network charity. I'm going to have to come under all official governance, because one, I need to be responsible. And because I am the director of Step Up Britain and I decided to take this role and I decided to design this model, I'm responsible too. So I can't go around smashing people's faces in, and I certainly can't go around shooting this woman, killing this woman. Or actually, if you'd heard me earlier on in the middle of the streets, I made it very clear that I was going to get her. Do you want to see what I keep? Where are you, you little bag? Ooh, your bag's disappeared. Oh, that was only there earlier on, and it seems to have disappeared. A piece of rope, big rope, yeah, because it was for battle with suicide, yeah, for hanging and all of that stuff. Keep a nice little piece of rope. The conversation that I had out on the streets after I got the phone call today, not to the social workers, but when I decided to have a bit of a rant, that I was going to take this woman and I'm going to dangle her up by her fucking legs and hang her from my little camera out here and keep her on top of her head, yeah. Now, the last time I ever was physically violent with anybody properly, I was 11 years old, and it was a girl who had claimed to be pregnant with one of my friends and then asked me for a Tampax. And I smashed her face in, and I did it in a very polite and nasty way. That's when I decided that I didn't want to be a street kid. That's when I decided that I wanted to be more than somebody that was in fights all the time. When my uncle was in prison, I was fighting all the time. Somebody would call him a murderer, and I could bang. It was as simple as that, bang. Yeah, it was as simple as that, bang. I'm quick, I'm fast. I was raised by my father. My father is James Avis. My father and Mike Shipley were one of the first people to bring jiu-jitsu across to the UK. I was taught to headbutt before I could walk. I can quite happily defend and look after myself. It isn't a problem. And when you get gang raped at the age of 11, you know, you learn. When you literally raised on a council estate where the boys are like playing manhunt with you and trying to tweak your tits and get their hands out of your finger and fuck you and all this base shit, you know, you learn to defend yourself. So the problem that I've got right now is somebody's caused harm to my family today by making a false allegation to social services. Somebody who knows my first name, second name, my children's name, who's been able to call the out of hours, who immediately have called me on my own phone. That means that somebody doesn't like me very much, because if they know my name and they know it, they know that they can contact me on Crackbook and they can get hold of me at any point. And if you have a problem with me, then you discuss it with me. Now, I have a third-party agent. Were my children being abused? I've already shown you what my children were wearing today. They were appropriately dressed. They were appropriately shoed. They were appropriately with their stuff. It just so happens that they'd run out of milk because they were out an extra 40 minutes and they needed some milk on the way back. Now, I have milk in the house. It's not that I don't. Coconut water, milk, it's not that I don't have it. And this is the one that the girls come back with. So they'd let him fill the bottle and give him another thing. So is that what you want to do me for? That my child had run out of milk and didn't have any milk in his bottle at that particular point, and a friend helped out and actually put it in, and you want to go and ring social services and really make it out to be something that it wasn't? So now we've got a problem. So, like I said, don't hate, fill your plate. You're an unofficial organisation that serves food. If any of the homeless people down there get any form of food poisoning, therefore you, Chantel, are responsible. I'm not hating Chantel right now. I'm not saying Chantel didn't make the call. I'm willing to stand by the fact that right now that she has actually contacted everybody involved in to do this. Something is telling me that Chantel potentially maybe did. And I will know, because I'm going to go face to face with everybody down there. Now, every single homeless person down there knows me. I'll guarantee you not one of them will touch me. Not one of them will even intervene with me. Even the police down there know me. They know me very well here in Portsmouth now. And actually, if I even stand my ground, the police have seen me on 5 different protests here already. They know what me and Dean do. We go right in the middle of each of the protests, left to the right, and then we bring them together, and that's what we do. And then we bring them and push them to the front, right? So at the end of the day, I'm an EDS mum. I don't have my mum around to help me with my kids. I don't have my dad around to help me with my kids. I don't have my brothers and sisters around to help me with my kids. And it's not even about helping me. It's about having the relationship that they should be having, their responsibility and duty to their own family. What did they say to social services? They said to social services that the kids had to take their kids out the house because I couldn't cope with them and they ran. This is the kids that have gone out with a packed lunch, bananas, bottles, and hey waving, and have been on the phone to for literally every 20-minute intervals. Nice little hearts and messages that everything's been going okay. I'm trying to build up trust and, you know, even actually for my children to even be upstairs while I'm stood downstairs having a fag outside. Do you know what I mean? I can't even get to that. Even when Liam was here, you see me, yeah? Even with someone in my house, yeah? I still roller skate out there. I have a whole sea road I could be roller skating up and down, but I can't even leave with my son, even their dad, my babysitters, their parents, yeah? Because Jackie's babysat for me. She's taking the kids out with the kids. Now I know you can get 2 kids in one little baby swing. It's really cool. I would never have thought of putting 2 children back to back. Now I do. That's how much my anxiety is for the removal of my children. Now the problem that I've got is someone in Don't Hate Feel Your Play is responsible. So that means me, company to company, Don't Hate Feel Your Play is not an official company. So they don't pay tax, they don't all that stuff, they don't have public liability. So if I went down there and I had a meal with them today and I got food poisoning, who do you hold responsible? The kitchen that made it? Well, they convinced the kitchen and the restaurant that they're an official organisation helping people out on the streets. So now I have to hold somebody accountable. They're just a bunch of volunteers that come out and put some food out on the streets, just like most of our kitchens do. But the problem is somebody has to be held accountable for today. Now, how do I deal with that? Do I stick a gun to their head until they tell me who did it? Do I have to march over to the police station and say enough is enough? This is discrimination and defamation and constant assassination and setups because people don't like what I'm doing and what I'm up to. Like I've said, I'm going to be having a very interesting interview with somebody soon who's going to tell me everything right from the inside of the BBC. Somebody who saw it all, wants to speak, wants to do it recorded. Only trust me to do it. Don't trust any person out there. Wants to do it with me and release it my way on my YouTube. So, do I string her up? Do I stick a noose around her neck? Might not even be a woman, might be a man, I don't know. So if you've got a problem with me, come to me, step to me. If you know my name personally and you're making reports to social services, that makes you my enemy. If you are someone, and I have to now find this snake in the grass, because the problem is this is now my social network. And that in this social network, there is a snake in the grass now. And I have to now look at everybody and wonder who it is. Is it Mark, who hugs me every time we see each other, waves her hands and does his art? Is it Chantal lying to my face on a live that's done this? Is it one of the other volunteers? Most of the Portsmouth people haven't actually met me in terms of, you know, me as who I am, because I'm just teasing it out there. This is my home turf. Do you know what I mean? I've always done London, Manchester, Liverpool, boom, 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 you know, Bristol, Brighton. Now, Monday, by the way, so to anybody who wants to come here on Monday, please do. I look forward to seeing as many of you as possible. As his name's gone right from my head. I do know his name. But the guy from Napa, from National Parent Alienation, has walking. And he's going to come here to Portsmouth. And we're going to be outside the family courts here. So I'm going to interview him. And I'm hoping to raise up pretty much everybody in the area. So as he hits and we speak, hopefully we will pull everybody around us. So then I've got a network for when he leaves to know who's who. And we're going to get bigger, harder and faster and stronger here in Portsmouth. And I'm not going to run as an MP. I'm going to run as your local champion for your community. We're going to do this a whole new way. I'm going to go for the insides of these assemblies, so I can make sure that obviously we are aware who's funding all this stuff. I'm not big enough and got enough money to be able to push in it the way that other people are they? So, but I am the seed. I know that. I know what I created in 2010. Mark Gerard is actually here, by the way, and Mark Gerard actually lived at Save the Family, where I was, where Aaron and Faith were taken. Mark Gerard is actually the person who saw me turn up in an Audi, have my family, have my children, be in the box, see the complaints put through. I was very close to his partner at the time. In fact, I actually saved his daughter from being taken by social on the very spot that day, you know, literally drowning the mum in the bath and sobering her up, because it was that sort of place. You know, I was a good person, and he knows it, hence why he's here now, for some, you know, to come together with what's now going on with the children being in social. Sorry, Mark, I don't know what I can and can't say. But at the end of the day, Mark can 100% validate. If people say that Aaron and Faith were never taken, there's people out there that say it's all a conspiracy. I've never had children taken. Mark's seen it. Mark's also seen it on the day that they made the allegation that I'd assaulted the Edna Speed and the reporter outside. Actually, his missus was at my home at that particular point. There we go. We all need to stick together, Cal. I want to help in any way I can. Now, this man lived in the same premises of me at Save the Family, where my children were taken. If I was a child abuser, do you think he would be sitting here now, like he says, I want to help in any way? Now, he saw the mum that fell to the wall. He's also one of the fathers that used to hear my piercing screams across when I used to cry at night. He's seen me go through, you know, the hells along the way, and obviously the eviction and the police turning up at the site and all of that sort of stuff. Monday, Portsmouth Courts, literally just across from the road here. Amber, if you can put down who it is that's walking, so it's in here. And just show people what's going on. I don't have any event because I don't run anything. I'm just going to let it work in co-symbioticness. But I will set some Monday aside for you all. If you do come down, rain or shine, we'll get together. We'll have a bit of a chat, and you know we'll get as many of us to come. It's going to have to be your investment. I'm completely broke. It's on my doorstep. It's not me leading this. It's just complete co-symbioticness between everybody that's doing their part in all of this. Yes, we've all been together since, you know, David Jenkins was here before me, 2 years before me, and other people have been here 30 years before me, but this is a network that come out from, you know, a lot of people that worked really, really hard in 2013, 2014, and then obviously I left Downing Street after the end of it with Dean in 2015. But I've had 2 children. I haven't gone away. I haven't left this. I still make the phone calls. I still make the emails. I'm still networking. I'm still on a mission to get my book out. I'm still on a mission to get the documentary out. I'm still on a mission to gather and collect everybody's evidence through the class action. It's just that I'm in a 1-bedroom flat with just literally getting things like tin openers and plates and cups and stuff like that. You know, Mark will know, you know, will tell you I'd already had all my stuff in storage. You know, Mark knew what it was like, stuck up in the hills, cutting the contact, stuff like that. In fact, it was the very same social worker that kept coming on site. I didn't even drink alcohol. So, hey, if you'll come from Wales, mate, I'll tell you what, if I can get some petrol money, we're going to be kicking off in Wales very soon anyway, because I've had enough. And I want to send a little bit of a message that mum's still here. She hasn't gone away. So I'm going to Wrexham. I have a mum that I can stay at. I have a mum who can look after my little ones while I need to go to a couple of places. And I have a couple of people around just in case I get arrested and I have to do 48 hours. I very much doubt I would do prison, and I wouldn't jeopardise Elijah and Shiloh in any way, shape or form in that way. But I need to go and drop a letter off. And I'm going to just say a couple of things, leave a little bit mark and go. Nothing that I can be arrested for. Just the fact that I like to know that people feel a little bit intimidated right now. I feel quite confident that people are bowing their heads in shame right now. I'm not here to shame or blame anybody. We are all directly responsible for our own lives. But when people like this person from Don't Hate, Fill Your Plate has caused such significant consequences in my life now, a further record on, no, they haven't taken my boys tonight, darling. And Portsmouth Council, you step to my boys, yeah? We go eye for an eye, yeah? In fact, it's time mummy become a little bit more vigilante. It's time that mummy actually did pull a couple of people around her who don't have any issues in dealing with this in a way that my conscience wouldn't allow me to do. I can't physically hurt somebody in that way. Just like I don't give a shit what everybody thinks of Greta. I ain't here to abuse a child. So no, why would I want to slap? Well done, Greta. Whatever you believe in, girl. But to the people manipulating her, she's an autistic girl. I suggest you wind it up because you're going to be bowing your head in shame as well. I got a lot to say. My book's going to have a lot to say. It's going to be a #1 bestseller. We know it. I know it. You know it. So, you know, if I've got people that are coming around me now in order to actually help me put this together, big people, Pete Parsons, big person, he's retired, he's 74, he's willing to give his entire retirement time to help me put all this together with the equipment. Lives here in Portsmouth. Funny that. Turns out quite a lot of people live here in Portsmouth. Taken me quite a while. But no, Mark, I don't want to hate. I don't want to turn into somebody that hates. I don't want to turn into somebody that wants to string somebody up, shoot somebody, or even smash their fucking faces in. And today, for the first time ever in my life, those words come out of my mouth. I am going to smash your fucking face in. Never do I talk like that. Black and blue. Now, I'm not going to physically do that because the consequences of that means I would sit my ass in prison and therefore my children would go into care or to their father. So I can't do that. Hence why my hands are in my pockets. So what do I do? How do I hold somebody accountable who doesn't work for any particular organisation? Nobody takes responsibility for the volunteers there. Now, I'll tell you straight, Amber causes any shit in this network. Amber gets pulled up immediately, which means me and Amber are at loggerheads quite a lot because she's learning. At the end of the day, like us, Amber is somebody who's been coming out of her shell and building herself through this stuff. I can't wait until the day that Amber is out there on the mic doing what she really loves. But at the end of the day, I hold Amber accountable on anything. I've gone mad over Amber even actually posting out the stuff about Boris saying about the income, because that was 2 years ago. Fuck off, don't put shit like that on my wall 2 years ago. Or even if you do, then put up something that says what date this is from. Amber has been ripped to shreds for doing that today because it changes the whole dynamics of my social media. She knows, don't influence my energy, don't influence my flow, and don't take anything away from where this is going. I'm bulletproof right now. I am a sculpt arrow. I am going for one thing and one thing only, and I won't stop until that end result is achieved. And I'm tenacious. My children will be sat with me for Christmas. Maybe not this Christmas, maybe not next. Maybe it will be this Christmas, maybe it will be next. Certainly won't be that much longer after my book comes out and after I go into court, I can guarantee you that. And I will be the one that takes it on the chin. Mark will tell you himself. Aaron and Faith were loved. Okay, we were in a bit of a shitty situation. I didn't have everything that I needed because it was all in storage. And, you know, we didn't live in our home. We never got to see what our home looked like, what my furniture looked like. You know, I had a fucking 1940s floral fucking sofa in there and wooden shit, and everything was in boxes. And I got his shit for this. He knows where the tumble dryer was, where I slipped and fell. He can tell you that they were very happy, lovely kids. Actually, everybody adored them on site. It's not often that I've got somebody here that was actually at Plasbellan Hall. You know, I don't really know many people from there. So, but, you know, at the end of the day, I can prove that, you know, bless Mark and everybody else involved, he's not been out of social services since then. 7 years later, and they've still got his daughter there. Well, they didn't have his daughter when I was there, mate. They could have done, but they didn't, not after my kid was taken. And the Mark can guarantee you and tell you, Plasbellan got closed down. They lost their funding immediately after the removal, and it was all done by May before I even got into my final course. So anyway, I've gone over my hour and a half. I want to make it very, 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 very clear to people out there who like to use social services as a weapon to people. You are vindictive, nasty, snidey cunts. And you are causing... by phone out of hours. Yeah, and that's exactly what Save the Family did to me, wasn't it? About this time as well, wasn't it, Mark, actually, coming into December. Yeah, and actually, Mark will be able to tell you as well about the people downstairs who managed to be on the front paper, who then caused further allegations, and the 8 police at my door. And even Mark can tell you there's probably the 3 songs that I used to play. Probably won't remember them, but if you listen to na 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 na, or the one from Fast and Furious, if he actually heard them, then you know he will know immediately that you know, I used to get the police at me, my door, for blaring that music. So yeah, feeling a bit anarchy right now, feeling a bit of vigilante. Tomorrow is but another day. I have every right to be angry. I have every right to be mad. I have every right to be fuming. I have every right to be disappointed. Because what that has done now is set me back 40 fucking steps back. But you will not turn me into a recluse in my home. You will not stop me. In fact, what you've done now is I'll turn up at everything, mate. I will be in Portsmouth City Council's face anywhere and everywhere now, with my kids in tow, healthy, happy, and fucking thriving, each and everywhere. You want me to slip up? You want to find something on me? Get the shit off your own shoe, mate. Point finger at me, you point 3 back at yourself. Bang, bang, bang. People don't like the way I speak. People don't like the aggression that comes out of me. Some bastards just made a false allegation and rang out of hours on my kids that ultimately could have led to bang, 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 police knocking on my door, child protection order, Elijah and Shiloh gone out the fucking door, and a mum that wants to kill people. That, like I said, touch my kids, it better be over my dead body. My boys are in bed, fast asleep. Had a beautiful day, lovely day. Mum's managed to get a lot of shit done. For other people, funny enough. Made a lot of phone calls. Had some time to do some real work. Get some stuff done. Yeah? It's not that often I've ever had time. It's only been Jackie and the girls when they've gone off with their mum, where I had some time a couple of weeks ago where they went out for 40 minutes on the park out here. I have literally for 3 years been 24/7. Not a day goes by where my boys are with me. I won't even put my children into nursery. That's how bad that what they have done. So, don't hate Fill Your Plate, who knows my name. You clearly know the trauma that my family have been through, and yet you want to try to push me onto child protection again. Stop. Anyone wants to pay 800 quid to get Amber on a flight over here, by the way, please do. I'm sure we can find somewhere for Amber to live here and claim benefits and all that shit while she looks after my kids. She'll probably go to university here for a bit. I think it's probably a good idea right now. So yeah, probably not a bad idea for Amber to get a proper Just Give page up, and as soon as we get it, and say why you want to come and look after my boys, why you want to be here, why I need somebody with me 24/7 with my kids right now. Look, you're never going to force me to go and scan through in Tesco's and put my children into a nursery and sit there and conform to the ways of the world, being a nodding dog. Yeah, couldn't do it to me at school, can't do it to me now, and you won't do it to me in the future. Pure heart, amazing mind, fantastic direct connection to source with 33 dimensions. I got to clean myself up. I got to stop the coffee, stop the dimp smoking. Yeah, a mother who doesn't even put fags out of the budget and picks fucking dimps up off the floor. That's how low that I've had to go to make sure that no money comes out of my children's mouths. So anyway, I'm going to be flipping cars. I'm going to be self-employed by November. I think it's about time now that I turned this into an official, but out the box, because if I'm made official, it means I have to do things slightly different, and I'm not willing to do that. I don't want Graham to become a paperwork file in my shelf that I can spend half an hour, 20 minutes with here. If I have to spend 6 months with Graham in complete submersion, then I would support that, you know. And Mark, yes, 100%. I will come in and help more than I can. What I am glad within Mark's situation is the moment Mark called me, Mum wasn't on the scene, Mum's back on the scene. So, you know, challenges, things have got to go certain places, but at the end of the day, to remove a child, even while doing an investigation, is the worst abuse in the world. And we're going to prove it. And we're going to change this system. And we are going to come together. I don't care how much I have to keep riding you, keep fucking kicking your asses, keep telling you that you are worthy. You are worthy of your truth. You are blessed, humble, and lovely, gracious people. All right, some of you can be a bit gossipy and chavvy and stuff like that. But, you know, a lot of you are in bed. A lot of you are suffering. A lot of you are out there trying to work, trying to pull yourselves together. I guarantee you there's mums out there that don't connect to me properly. They speak to me every now and then, but they don't connect to me properly, and they stay in this network when I tell them to come out. Then they end up not coming through with their children. There's mums here that stick with me, who go the whole way with me. There's mums on the phone who come out of the networks, they stick with me the whole way through, and not one of them has come, like, not come out without their child. The people who want to still sit in there and allow everybody in there fear-mongering and I keep them focused. That's the difference. I keep them focused. Don't let them get caught up in all this, what's going on, what their rules are. Keep them focused all the way through. Keep them grounded. Let them rant to me. Let them come and tell me what a cunt the social worker is now. They want to smash a fucking person's end. Tell it to me. No, don't tell it to them. Tell it to me. And I don't mind doing this. I just wish that I could fund it in a way that I'm not sitting on benefits and I am sitting on a salary as a charity. Then you can all have a go at me that I'm a six-figure person sitting on a fucking charity salary. If I'm doing the work, mate, I don't fucking care. Because now it also turns out that the PA person I'm going to be speaking to soon is going to turn around and just so happens that they're the branding person for the NSPCC and for what's our favourite thing called again? The Pudsey thing. He's the branding manager for it. I'm dabbling with the BBC at the moment. Do you know what I mean? They keep telling me, don't be an ITV girl. Come on, join the BBC. They're trying to get me going to work for the BBC as well through some of these networks. So, yeah, let's get rid of the rest of these snakes first. Yeah. So, snake in the grass in my community here in Portsmouth. You've met your match with me, mate. And do you know what I will do? By the power of the Lord, I will forgive you for everything that you have done to my family today. You do not know what you have done. And even if you do know, I am not going to allow for your karma to be in my hands. So the hot coals and the anger that I have to you, I lift up to the Lord and I give it to him to deal with. And may the hot coals pour on you. Namaste. See you later, guys. Don't let the cunts get you down. Rise up, and tomorrow be stronger.